news comes from the news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And two words we like to say, happy Friday.
Happy Friday, Gary. Happy Friday, all you tuning in this morning. And got a pretty nice day on tap again today. As always, we take a look at what's going on out there early this morning. And we begin with temperatures pretty much like always all week long in the 50s and 40s. Some spots, especially in the Adirondacks, a little bit chilly, near freezing actually in, say, Saranac Lake. And let's zoom in here on some of these temperatures. So 45 Outer Lake, 45 Long Lake, in the low 50s in Dodgeville and Little Falls. Washington Mills 50, 57 degrees in Westernville. To the south, it's 50 Cooperstown, 52 Oneonta. Looks to be 60 in Oxford. I leave the numbers here for Oxford a little bit off right here at Unadilla at 52 degrees. Old Forge this morning, a live view outside. It's going to 46 degrees. It is a somewhat foggy morning up in the North Country. On top of that, there's some more fog, especially as you head down south toward Oneonta. So what are we tracking today? Another beautiful Friday. How far behind on average for rainfall are we? They crunch the numbers off the latest on that since July, coming up in a few minutes. And on top of that, will we see any rain this weekend? What are the signs pointing to in terms of beneficial rain? We'll track those chances if they arrive, and if so, how much, in a few minutes. Gary?
Thanks. Oneida County Supreme Court Judge Bernard.
Welcome back. Happy Friday, everybody. As we've experienced all week long, or some of you at least, pretty much a foggy morning every single day for those of you in Oneonta, parts of the Southern Valleys, even in parts of the Adirondacks, and a few locations in the Mohawk Valley. We take a look at that fog visibility tracker right now, and you notice a few spots, typical areas right here again in the Southern Valleys, as well as up near Glens Falls. Appears to be a similar culprit as well. You head into the Mohawk Valley, it's mainly fog-free. In fact, a few wispy altocumulus, even a few cirrus clouds out there early today. Traffic flow is green for the most part. We have no accidents to report. And still, you head outside today, we have that isolated fog south and north. This afternoon, still plenty of sunshine, highs in the 70s. Yes, it's a dry day today. But there are some rain chances this weekend. Will, or at least has it impressed a little more in terms of amount of rain we could see? We're going to have the latest data on that rainfall chance this weekend coming up in just a few short minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. A local man had quite the
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everybody. Today we begin, as always, all week long with some cooler temperatures, some patchy fog, but there's still plenty of sunshine as we head throughout the day today. A look at the Mesnet camera network here. Now, it's hard to see unless you look at these often, but Herkimer, I should say Herkimer, more so Morrisville, parts of Lawrence and Old Forge, you got some fog here starting to develop. In the darker colors here, it is mainly fog-free. So we have some of that patchy fog today, but it's going to burn off and sunshine moves in this afternoon. We look at the bigger picture here. You have lots of high pressure in place, and that's going to keep our weather dry for today. But look at this. Rain chances arrive this weekend. They're just not impressive. Still, the data shows us the rainfall chances, looking ahead to Saturday and Sunday, even though a stray shower or drizzle is possible, it's just not that high of a chance of seeing any beneficial rain. And speaking of, compared to July 1st until now, we have received at Griffiths and Rome a total of 4.45 inches. At this time, normally, we should be getting close to 10 inches. We have had half the expected rain this summer over the past 3 months. And at least in the short term, heading into next week, there doesn't appear to be any changes in that number here. So again, if you just missed it yesterday, the new data came in the late morning. More of upstate New York was added to that normally dry category. Personally, I do think we should be in moderate drought status. with a lot of waterways a lot lower than usual. But again, this is a nationally done drought monitor, so sometimes they don't always have the right accuracy. But either way, it is abnormally dry. There's no doubt about that. We are expecting a dry start Saturday. There could be a late sprinkle, isolated shower Sunday, but you notice here we're not having any strong language on this rainfall because, I mean, if you look at this, watch what happens in our SkyCast. It's not really pretty much out in the blue type rainfall chance. So today, it's beautiful, no rain expected. Tonight, we'll see a few passing clouds. Tomorrow, watch these showers come in. And again, you have some maybe passing showers, light drizzle in the Adirondacks, passing over us briefly. Then the clouds end, maybe a stray shower south. And Sunday, that front moves through. And I mean, just look at this. A few days ago, this was a potential few rounds of showers, maybe a downpour, and now it's fizzling out. So we're not removing the rainfall icon entirely from the weekend here, but at least for now, it's not looking that impressive rainfall chances. So following that, though, we do expect a warm-up, and I mean a warm-up. I mean, we're talking low 80s by next week. The signs point to that, plus a continued sunny stretch of weather. So we have this gorgeous weather next week. Yes, we're low on rainfall, but I mean, we still got to enjoy it when it's sunny out and dry. You know, it's like it can't all be all gloomy. So we'll enjoy all the sunshine.
Yeah, a lot of people outside lately. They're loving this low humidity.
Out walking and biking. It's so great.
Yeah. Eric, thanks. The time right now is 5:21. Still a good morning once again, and thank you for joining us for this half hour. I'm Gary Liberatore. Get ready for the weekend and get ready for some pretty decent weather here in mid-September. Meteorologist Eric Gage over in the Weather Center. And Eric, boy, this just keeps rolling along.
Yeah, lots of sunshine today. Pretty comfortable start out there. Let's take a look at the current conditions. We begin in the 50s in the Mohawk Valley and to the south. There are some cooling spots here, especially up in the Adirondacks. Saranac Lake at 31 degrees below freezing today. 45 in Long Lake and in Inlet. Heading into the Mohawk Valley, it's 50 in Dowdgeville and in Little Falls. You head down to Washington Mills, 48 degrees, 55 out in Sylvan Beach. As we head south, it's 50 in Richfield Springs, 52 in Norwich, and 52 as well in Oneonta. We take a live view from Old Forge. You can see a bit foggy up there, so the fog is mainly focused in the Adirondacks and in parts of the southern valleys. Mohawk Valley right now is looking mainly fog-free. And so today, we're starting out with a beautiful Friday on tap. We are still well behind average in terms of rainfall. We're going to crack those numbers here in a few minutes as well. And on top of that, the rain that is expected to arrive this weekend, will it produce anything substantial that could maybe put a dent in this lack of rainfall? We're going to track all that and more coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. And don't forget, the Storm Tracker 2 forecast is never more than 10 minutes away each morning. A weapon.
Welcome back to Sunrise, everybody, on this Friday. Our photo of the day today. Personal choice right here of this photo, mainly due to the atmospheric process to create a view like this. So let's zoom in here. This is a wave of clouds taken in Lee anonymously. A frequent submitter, by the way, just no name in the email. So this is a photo here of a wave of clouds from an approaching cold front from the north. And it somewhat acts as a gravity wave cloud. If you can look those up online, you can see what I mean by gravity wave clouds. But the approaching front, this is what happens when the air is so dry and the upper atmosphere is so dry and you get a cold front coming in. There is just no moisture there for that front to really produce anything in terms of rainfall. So you can see just a very fizzled out front there. So again, cold front moved through yesterday. You probably didn't even notice it with the fact that it was so dry. But still, we are tracking some rain chances this weekend. Are they impressive too? We'll track that coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Seeds are falling from the sky.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
The time now is 5:50.
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
As always this week, Oneonta, foggy morning. Other spots, well, it's fog-free. Let's take a look in Oneonta early today from our vantage point on Hartwick College. And so far today, Oneonta beginning at 52 degrees. Not too bad of a temperature out there, very seasonable. Downtown Utica, similar scene this morning. It is fog-free for the most part, and a view of some clear skies out in the distance there. Now, the bigger picture shows us high pressure keeping us dry for the next couple of days. However, as we look ahead to the weekend, there is some rainfall, especially up here. Watch this as it approaches its way from the west. It moves into central New York, and it pretty much falls apart. And what I'm trying to get at is that this system moving in is moving into dry air, and the air that's arriving with it too is also dry. So you combine those, there's not a lot of fuel for these showers to produce any notable rainfall. And while we're on the topic of rainfall or lack thereof, from July 1st until now, we have amassed 4.45 inches of rain in Rome. Compare that to the average of 9.2. We are less than half in terms of the amount of rain we've seen so far this year. So when it comes to rainfall, we definitely need it. And at this point in time, you need to have several days of just steady, consistent rain to kind of combat this. Heavy downpours for 5-10 minutes are just going to run off. So when it comes to the pattern here, for now, there's no major shift. For now, it's looking to be dry, continuing to remain dry. Maybe a few sprinkles and showers this weekend, but so far, just the pattern really not supportive of any consistent beneficial rain. So we look here today, again, it's sunny. Let's not distract from the fact that it is a beautiful stretch of weather here. Low to mid 70s this afternoon. Plenty of sun this evening. Have any evening plans? Tonight, it's in the 40s and 30s in the higher elevations up north. And then tomorrow, a stray sprinkle or shower mixed in with a few clouds by the evening. So it's not entirely sunny on Saturday. Stray shower south overnight. And then Sunday, you can see here, where we were expecting that front to move through, you can see not a whole lot of activity. This is just unimpressive in terms of rainfall. So I'm still leaving the rainfall icon here this weekend, but just don't expect to be seeing any consistent or notable rain this weekend. Following that rainfall chance ends, and we're back to sunny skies, lots of sunshine, or I should say lots of warmth with highs in the low 80s. We'll be right back.
News with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us here on this Friday. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
I love the word Friday.
Friday, happy Friday. Yes, happy Friday, Gary, and
Yes.
all you watching with us this morning. And my goodness, Gary, how about this? Another beautiful day today.
Let the record keep rolling. Right?
Let's let it keep rolling. How about this? Let's take a look at the current conditions outside right now. 50 in Rome with clear skies, 50 Hamilton, a few clouds, and some fog as you head down in the southern valleys. Fog reported in Saranac Lake with a temperature of 32 degrees, so a little crisp as you head up into the Adirondacks. We zoom in here into the Mohawk Valley, 49 Dollarville, Little Falls, 47 Washington Mills, a little up north, 45 Outer Lake and an inlet and in Long Lake. We head to the south, 50 in Hamilton, 51 in Cooperstown, and 52 degrees in Oneonta. In fact, a live view of Old Forge this morning. Some foggy conditions to start your day today. It's 45 as well in that area. And what are we tracking today? Like yesterday, some fog turns to sunshine with a beautiful afternoon. Now, yes, we're seeing all this sunshine, but just how far behind average are we in terms of rainfall? I'm going to talk a bit more about the numbers compared to July 1st. Did some digging on some of the data here as well. And on top of that, yes, there's some rain chances this weekend. Will it arrive and produce anything notable? We're going to talk about the timing, how much we could see, all that and more in a few short minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Oneida County Supreme Court Judge Bernadette
Time now is 6:11, going on 6:12 in a couple of seconds here. And you start out the day today with just sunny skies for the most part. Fog is trying to form here in the Mohawk Valley. Here's a look at our tower cam. A little breezy up here on Smith Hill. Camera's shaking a little bit, but either way, see that fog out there in the distance here, 50 degrees, the temperature in Deerfield. We look at other locations, the fog definitely a little more dense, especially as you head down into the southern valleys and parts of the Adirondacks. See that pocket of fog up there as well. Aside from the morning fog, the rest of the area on our traffic flow is looking green. No accidents to report early today. And as you head outside this morning, isolated fog you might run into. Temperatures in the 50s, climbing into the 70s this afternoon. Plenty of sun, but just how much sunshine is too much? I mean, I love the sun, like plenty of you probably do, but at some point we do need some rain. And we're actually looking at how far we are behind in rainfall coming up in a few short minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. A local man had quite the...
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
It's 6:18 on this Friday morning. Good morning, everybody. And as always this week, we have areas of sunshine and areas of fog. Let's take a look at downtown Oneonta right now, where it's a bit difficult to see the area with that fog still over the Hartwick College camera we have right now. 52 degrees the temperature. Downtown Utica, it's clear. Out in the distance toward the Mohawk Valley, fog is slowly trying to develop, but either way, it is a quiet start to the day today. In the meantime, with this quiet weather, high pressures in place here across a lot of the Northeast. That's going to change as we head into the next few days. But I want to emphasize the rainfall chance and how it might not be as impressive as we originally thought. So watch this rainfall out near Minnesota move its way east tomorrow and into Sunday. There's those rainfall chances. Notice not a whole lot of green, right? Well, this is what happens when you have dry air near the surface and dry air way up in the sky. Not a whole lot of fuel, right? Well, if you try to form rainfall with forcing mechanisms where that air gets forcibly lifted in the sky from a cold front, well, if there's not a lot of rain or not a lot of moisture in the atmosphere, you don't get a whole lot of rainfall. And that's the key here. We're going to look at that here in a second. But in the meantime, with the numbers between July 1st until now for rainfall totals, we are still sitting at 4.75 inches at Griffiths and Rome. Our average sits at 9.2 inches. So you can see the difference here. We are around half the amount at a typical summertime with rainfall. That is expressed here with our drought monitor across a lot of upstate New York. Personally, I think we should have a little bit higher a rating. This is created by the drought index. But still, in terms of rain, the thing is, on a stretch like this in terms of weather, we need more than just a light sprinkle or a stray downpour. We need steady, consistent rain. At least the pattern here this weekend isn't supportive of that. And even beyond that to next week, we have even more sunshine and warmer weather. So that lack of rainfall isn't going away anytime soon. So today, it's dry, it's sunny, highs in the 70s. Tonight, it's quiet, it's clear. Tomorrow, we start out with a few areas of sunshine, a few clouds roll in, and look at this right here. A few sprinkles here and there in the North Country and south. It's not widespread. It does end. There could be a stray shower south again overnight. And Sunday, sunshine and a stray shower. I mean, it's very unimpressive in terms of any notable rain. I'm still leaving the rainfall icon here on the 7-day forecast. Just a heads up that just don't expect anything very notable in terms of rain this weekend. And beyond that, I mean, there's no shot of rain next week. We're in the 70s and 80s. Hot. Actually, I wouldn't say hot. I'd say seasonably warm. 80. Oh, I guess this time of year it would be hot, but still plenty of sun looking ahead to next week.
Nice 7-day. Thank you.
Yeah, not too bad, Gary.
And be sure to like us on Facebook once again, and thank you for joining us for this half hour. I'm Gary Libitor. What can you expect weather-wise today and throughout the weekend? I think it's a broken record. Meteorologist Eric Gage over in the Weather Center with that record again. Eric?
Yeah, how about this, Gary? Remind me if you heard this before. Sunshine and 70s for temperatures.
Keep it going.
Another nice day today. Yeah, let's take a look outside right now. We begin in the 50s here in the Mohawk Valley. It is a dry start. Areas of fog trying to form in the Mohawk Valley. They have already formed in the southern valleys and Adirondacks. By the way, Saranac Lake at 31 degrees has just fallen below freezing within the last 30 or so minutes. We zoom in here, some of the local temperatures: 44 in Otter Lake and in Inlet, 49 in Dolgeville, 49 as well in Washington Mills, and 48 in Westmoreland. To the south, 50 Hamilton, 51 Cooperstown, and 52 degrees in Oneonta. And a live view of Old Forge this morning, a sign of what a lot of the North Country is experiencing here, at least the locations toward the Adirondacks here. Some patchy, dense fog, 44 the temperature. Now today, another beautiful afternoon, lots of sunshine. We have been seriously lacking rainfall. That's been the main story. Yes, it's sunny, it's beautiful, but we do kind of need the rain at some point, right? Well, we are well behind. Well, I'll let you know exactly how far behind we are with rainfall coming up in a few minutes. And on top of that, yes, there are rain chances this weekend, but will they actually produce any beneficial rain? We're going to track those, the timing, how much rain we could see coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. And don't forget, the Storm Tracker 2 forecast is never more than 10 minutes away each morning. A weapon, Prince.
2 is brought to you by Holland Farms Bakery and Deli.
We've had some amazing weather this week and amazing photos sent in by all of you every day here on Sunrise. And this photo right here, to wrap up the work week, is a photo taken yesterday in Lee, sent in anonymously. And I want to zoom in here on this photo because if you look at it, there's a lack of clouds out on the left and right side of your screen here. This was from a cold front that moved through yesterday, and a bit of atmospheric background here. When you have dry air near the ground and you have dry air way up in the sky, it's very difficult for a front, pictured here, to produce anything aside from clouds. And you can really see the lack of moisture here. In a normal circumstance, this would be a lot more overcast, a lot more rain showers, but you can just see here just the lack of moisture. That air is getting forced upward, and that's how little moisture is in the atmosphere. So it's a wave of clouds here. Amazing photos sent in to us, and if you have a photo like this you'd like to share with us, you can send it to WKTV.com/weather/pics. We have a look at potential rain chances this weekend, but like I said, maybe some lack of moisture with these fronts, all that and more coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Seeds are falling from the...
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Beautiful week so far, and pretty much every morning we have some areas seeing some fog. We take a look at Oneonta, a live view outside. It's still a little bit foggy out there, and actually I should say a lot of bit foggy here in Oneonta. 52 degrees the temperature. Taking a look at downtown Utica, look at that scene out there in the distance. We have some fog forming in the Mohawk Valley out in the east. It's slowly pushing its way into Utica, but for now it is staying still out in that direction. Aside from the fog today, it is a dry one, a sunny one, and temperatures in the 70s. A beautiful day expected today. Now, how is that changing as we head into the weekend? Well, we're going to watch this system right here. Take a look at this rainfall north of Minnesota. It's going to move its way east as we head into tomorrow. Maybe a passing brief light shower Saturday as well as Sunday, but in terms of rainfall, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, it's not really that impressive. And speaking of rainfall, let's talk about that rainfall deficit. From July 1st until now, we've seen a total of 4.75 inches in Rome, or typical spot we measure this, and the normal number sits at 9.2 inches. So we are still just around half of the expected rain we usually see in the summertime here this season. So if you're wondering, yes, it is abnormally dry, very abnormally dry. Now, the official drought monitor has us at a normally dry. I think we should be closer to moderate drought status, if not close to severe, just due to the fact that we haven't really had that consistent, steady rainfall. And a reminder, when you have a setup like this, you need a stretch of damp, steady rain. If you have a few passing downpours here and there, that won't help drought. It'll just cause all that water to run off. So you need steady light rain, and that's something we don't see in the short-term forecast. Saturday, it's mostly dry. Clouds increase throughout the day. There could be a sprinkle late. Sunday, an isolated shower. Still, though, rainfall not that impressive. Today, still it's dry, it's sunny, a beautiful day on tap. Highs in the 70s. Tonight, we're in the 40s with clear skies. Tomorrow, we begin with sunshine, clouds roll in. You can see here a few spotty sprinkles. It's not entirely dry, but no steady, consistent rainfall as well. And then on Sunday, I mean, look at this. That front moves through, and there's just really no rain accompanying it as well. Just such dry air, both near the surface and above. So aside from that, we're not taking out the rainfall icon from the 7-day just yet for Saturday or Sunday. Just do that rain chance. But it's just, again, don't expect a whole lot of rainfall. Then following that, next week, those temperatures climb into the 80s. Sunshine. I mean, we got some beautiful weather, warm weather on tap for next week.
Yeah, keep that pool open, right?
Yeah, maybe just don't close it just yet. Maybe another week or so.
Eric, thanks. The time right now is 6. Now let's get a first look at the forecast. Meteorologist Eric Gage joining us. And Eric, another gorgeous day in central New York.
Yeah, the record keeps getting on repeat.
Yeah.
Lots of sunshine. Of course, couldn't ask for nicer weather. Let's take a look outside in Oneonta. Beautiful scene out there right now. A few puffy clouds, but other than that, very pleasant afternoon. Temperatures across the area in the upper 60s, low 70s. 70 in Rome, 68 down in Hamilton, 71 in Syracuse, 62, a little cooler as they head up north in Saranac Lake. So what are we tracking today? Well, still plenty of dry weather. Lots of sunshine on this gorgeous Friday. However, we are still falling way behind on average in terms of rainfall. We'll talk about the exact number, and if we see any rain, will that even put a dent in it? Plus, with the potential rain arriving this weekend, we have the latest trends on the timing, plus how much, if it's impactful, and what would follow that. So again, today it's sunny. Next 12 hours show quiet weather turning to clear skies. We're going to see a few more clouds rolling this weekend, again, leading up to the potential for rainfall. We're going to talk all about that and a lot more in the full forecast. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Authorities in Utah today.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon, everybody. On this Friday, what a week we've had weather-wise, and it's continuing today. Lots of sunshine. Take a live look outside. If you saw on the tower cam moments ago, a few more trees up here on Smith Hill starting to change color. And personally, I drove through a lot of Otsego County yesterday, parts of Oneida County, some higher elevations, and there are a few pockets of vibrant colors, but it's still a lot of green. So for the most part, it's going to be maybe about a week before we start to see our foliage forecast produce a lot more of the some color versus little to no color here across the region. High pressure keeping our weather dry and sunny today, but if we look to our north and west, this is where our next round of rain begins to move in. This, although looks promising in terms of rainfall, it begins to fall apart as it moves into our area. Now, it's not entirely drying up, but these showers that move through will be very weak. And that's what happens when you have dry air near the surface and dry air aloft. You get some forcing mechanism. There's not enough rain or not enough moisture in the atmosphere to really fuel any rain showers. So in the meantime, where we stand right now between July 1st through the current day today, 4.75 inches of total rainfall at Rome. Compare that to what we usually see on average, which is 9.2 inches. So we are just over half of the normal rainfall we get during
typical summertime season. So because of that, that's the reason why it's been so dry. Reservoirs drying up, streams getting lower than usual, and of course the brown grass. Still though, this weekend, I wish I could have better news for promising rainfall. Now, of course, I am saying that as if it falls on a weekend. If you have any weekend plans, this is better news for you, since maybe you have a late sprinkle on Saturday or an isolated shower on Sunday, but this will not be impacting you all too much. The rainfall is spitting and sputtering for the most part. So today it's sunny, it's dry, clear and cool tonight, lows in the 40s. Tomorrow, we're going to see a few clouds roll in, mostly cloudy skies by the evening, and you can see here a few spotty sprinkles and drizzle in areas north and south. So it's going to be a slightly more cloudy day for your Saturday. We're used to so much sunshine, this will feel like a bit of an outlier. Then we're going to see a little more sunshine again on Sunday, starting out with some clear skies, lingering fog, turning to sunshine, and maybe a passing shower or light sprinkle, but still you can see that rainfall chance is not really that impressive. Most of us throughout the entire day Sunday will be dry. There's be a few areas that could see a stray shower. Even then, it won't last too long. So your 7-day forecast, barring the rain chances this weekend, next week, I mean, we're still looking at summertime weather here. We've got upper 70s climbing into the low 80s by the middle of next week. Plenty of sun, just overall beautiful weather. So when it comes to wondering whether it's time to pack it up in terms of summertime, not just yet. We still have plenty of summertime left.
Don't pack it up.
Don't pack it up. We'll spend time outside and enjoy the nice, beautiful weather.
We sure will. Eric, thanks. Well, the shooting death of NBC's Janice Mackey-Frayer reporting from Seoul. Meteorologist Eric Gage joining us now, and another nice day out there today, that's for sure.
Lots of blue skies and gorgeous scenery right here. In fact, if you notice on the tower cam, let's look at some of the colors here.
It is coming out.
Just starting to pop up. Let's zoom in here. You can see clearly on some of the trees here as well. For those of you who live in Otsego County, between Cooperstown and Richfield Springs, there's a section along Route 28. You might have seen it as this one tree I passed. Vibrant red. It was on its lonesome, no other vibrant colors around, but if you drive that route every day, you might be thinking, know what I'm talking about here. But this is the scene right now. A few areas of color mixed in with mainly green, and this is our early stage of the fall foliage season. And for now, we're still little to no color, but by next week, I'm thinking about our next fall foliage report, it's going to be a whole lot different. Temperatures around the state in the 70s, pretty much everywhere, 60s as you head up north. And today, beautiful, just gorgeous outdoor weather. Tomorrow, a few more clouds moving in, but in the meantime, even we are tracking some rainfall, it's not going to be that impressive. So with that in mind, how far behind in rainfall are we? Well, we have that and more coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. A killer was sentenced in Oneida.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Beautiful Friday, beautiful past few days. In fact, just a beautiful week all around. It's been great seeing this type of weather here. In fact, we take a look outside where still skies are blue. We still got some greenery out there, so we're going to enjoy it while we still have it here in the Mohawk Valley. The temperature today in the 70s, low 70s, so comfortable. And high pressure is what's driving this clear weather. Yeah, a few clouds popping up here, but still it is going to be dry today. Now I want to have you focus on this rainfall up here because I mentioned this yesterday. At that point it was in the Dakotas. It's going to speed up as it glides along this front to our north. See this area of low pressure, that green color? That's what's driving this pattern shift as it moves its way south and east. Now pattern shift is somewhat more of a bold term here. It's basically a passing low pressure, if you call it that. There are some rain chances, but they begin to fall apart as they head throughout the weekend. In fact, recapping this past season, again, July 1st until now, so the past almost 2.5 months, we've picked up 4.75 inches of rainfall. Still, 9.2 is the average, so we're just over half. Putting that in perspective on just how little rain we've seen. And when it comes to the rainfall this weekend, there's a chance of a sprinkle late Saturday with increasing clouds, isolated shower on Sunday mixed in with sunshine. It's not going to be benefiting our dry weather at all in terms of trying to replenish that dry soil. You need to have a pattern of steady, consistent rain, something that we are not seeing in the forecast, at least for the next week, week and a half. Even beyond next week, it's going to be looking mainly dry. So our Skycast pointing to sunshine throughout the evening today, temperatures in the 70s and 60s. Clear skies this evening for heading out to any football games tonight. Tomorrow, sunny start. You're going to see a few clouds roll in. By the afternoon, can't rule out a stray shower or a light sprinkle. Just a heads up if you have any afternoon plans here. You don't leave those windows down or just dress appropriately for the potential of surfaces getting a little bit damp. But it's not that impactful in terms of rainfall. We're not going to see a soaking downpour. But as we head into the overnight hours, a passing shower south. Sunday starts out with some patchy fog. It does dry up with sunshine by the afternoon and an isolated shower, but that's going to be few and far between, mixed in with all that sunshine. So Sunday looking pretty nice. Saturday also looking pretty nice. You're going to got to dodge a couple of those rain chances. And even beyond that, we head into next week, and it's a different story. No rain chances at all. I mean, we're talking lots of sun, warm temperatures in the low 80s. So it's very summer-like as we approach next week. No fall-like weather. Well, we have some fall tastes. Overnight lows in the 50s and 40s. So a bit of a crisp morning, but again, I mean, we're talking 80s and sunshine. That's something you see in late August, early September, and it's just still going into the middle of September.
And it's consistent. There's no like highs and lows.
Yeah, no ups and downs, just steady.
Yeah. Eric, thanks. Well, the Florida Department
First look at the forecast with meteorologist James DeFazio. Yes. Another great day on tap for tomorrow.
Absolutely, and it's a great night for high school football. Friday night lights. We have fantastic weather to get out and enjoy any Friday night sporting events or any outdoor activities. Your Friday night football forecast. We're going to start out with temperatures in the low 70s and mostly sunny skies. We do dip into the 60s during the game, but it's a pleasant, beautiful evening yet again. Mostly sunny skies in downtown Utica and comfortable conditions, and that continues. You can ignore this 53. That station is not working. We are in the upper 60s to mid 70s across central New York. Very comfortable weather. Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar, quiet, dry, and unfortunately for those of us that need rain, it's going to continue to look that way. 73 degrees with sunny skies up in Rome. Very comfortable levels of humidity. Very, very refreshing air outside. It's a good night to have the windows open. It's a good night to get out and enjoy the football game. Mostly sunny skies continue tonight with low to mid 70s. Tonight, slightly warmer than we've been. We're not going to have frost chances tonight. Lows in the lower 50s despite the clear skies. Coming up, we're going to break down what rainfall chances we do have as well as how bad our drought has gotten. Jason, Kristen.
All right, James, thank you. Well, it may be a big night in high school sports.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist James DeFazio.
Good Friday evening. We're starting our weekend off with absolutely fantastic weather, and that's going to continue through the first half of the weekend. Take a look at downtown Utica. Mostly sunny skies, very blue skies, and comfortable temperatures. Currently in the mid 70s. A great night for high school football. Friday night lights are going to shine bright tonight. Take a look at the weekend forecast. Yes, we have some shower chances on here. We still think it's going to be, we know it's going to be a mostly dry weekend. These are measly rainfall chances, and they're going to be few and far between and very light in nature, not the drought-busting rain we need. A sprinkle late is possible on Saturday with cloudy skies, a very isolated shower in between sunny skies on Sunday. Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar, quiet and dry, and again, unfortunately, it's going to continue for the most part. We did see quite a bit of fog this morning, and I anticipate that the same areas that saw fog this previous morning will experience it yet again tomorrow morning. No issues with visibility at this time, but by tomorrow morning we will see some reduced visibilities in the usual locations. We're also tracking a steady warm-up. We're heading towards our second summer, as I like to say, after our brief cool down, a little bit of seasonably cool temperatures, and we got a touch of fall. We're going to warm right back up into the upper 70s, and then by next week, we actually climb all the way into the low to mid 80s. The Around the State Drought Monitor not doing a great job at reflecting the severity of our drought. We are labeled as abnormally dry. We're realistically experiencing a moderate drought. We are now, since July 1st, 4.75 inches of rain has been recorded at Griffis and Rome. That is a big deficit. We average 9.2 inches over that period of time. And that's a lot of rain to make up. Anytime you're over a 4-inch deficit, that's enough to be approaching moderate drought, and we're seeing that with our local waterways. And unfortunately, at this time, there is no significant rainfall in the forecast. Skycast this evening showing very clear skies, not as cool as it has been the last previous nights. Lows for Utica and Rome, the low 50s. Tomorrow, clouds do increase. It's a mostly cloudy day, but as you can see, as these showers worked across the region, they're very few and far between and very light in nature. That also happens to be the case as we head into Sunday. Yet again on Sunday, a couple of sprinkles. Most of us just see sunny, dry weather. Tonight, lows in the low 50s for Utica and Rome with clear skies. A look at your 7-day forecast. Unfortunately, another mostly dry weekend. The weekend has trended drier. But as we head into next week, we're heading into a little bit of an Indian summer. Fantastic weather with low 80s. Low to mid 80s for the entirety of the upcoming week with partly to mostly sunny skies. Again, the one thing that is unfortunate is we don't see that drought buster in anywhere coming yet.
James, thank you.
Well, the rise, just James DeFazio, still dry weather out there.
Yeah, still, those are really some just stunning images. Tonight's featured dog is Bandit and Scrappy, Barkley's friends from next door in East Utica. And Scrappy's hiding in the back there. He's always keeping a close eye out on not just Bandit, but Barkley as well. It's a great night to get out and do any outdoor activities, from a dog walk, get out and watch a football game, any sporting event that may be going on. Fantastic weather continues into the start of the weekend. Temperatures this evening in the mid-70s primarily. Some of us dip down, are down into the low 70s, Inlet in at 71, or Sherburne and Earlville coming in at 70 degrees. We still see comfortable conditions through this evening for the next couple of hours. Plenty of sunshine, 73 degrees with sunny skies, comfortable levels of humidity. That continues into the overnight tonight. We're tracking a couple chances for rainfall this weekend, but dry weather on New York for Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. And it's going to look like this primarily for the entirety of the weekend. There are a few shower chances, and coming up we're going to break down what few shower chances we do have in the forecast. Kristen, Jason.
James, thank you. They're vintage and they're in town tonight.
It's like a team reunion.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist James DeFazio.
Good Friday evening. It's absolutely beautiful outside. It was a beautiful day. It's a beautiful evening, and it's a beautiful start to our weekend. And we're tracking primarily very pleasant weather for the upcoming weekend. Take a look at downtown Utica, where skies are very, very blue and temperatures are very, very comfortable. We're in the mid-70s, and we're going to be in the low 70s for several more hours. Comfortable weather continues tonight. Good night for outdoor activities. Your weekend forecast, primarily dry weather. We are tracking the chance for a couple of sprinkles during the afternoon hours on Saturday. Highs into the mid-70s with mostly cloudy skies. Again, mostly dry. And then on Sunday, again, mostly sunny. Occasional, very, very brief sprinkle or shower possible. Most of us don't see any rain at all this upcoming weekend. It's still more likely to be dry than wet, unfortunately. Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar, quiet and dry, and it's going to stay that way through the night tonight. Again, a couple isolated sprinkles tomorrow. We'll break that down on the Skycast coming up. Your temperature trend, we're steadily warming. We're into the mid-70s this weekend. upper 70s by the beginning of next week, all the way up into the low 80s for the middle of next week. We are entering a warming trend, and that is going to continue. The 8 to 14-day temperature outlook from the Climate Prediction Center continues to favor above average temperatures for the week of September 20th through September 27th. We still look to finish September with a very warm stretch, a very above average stretch. Around the state, the drought monitor, it's really not doing a great job at reflecting the severity of the drought across central New York. It's labeled as abnormally dry. We really are in a moderate drought up at this point. As you can see, since July 1st, we averaged 9.2 inches of rain. We've gotten less than 5 inches of rain. We're over 4 inches in the deficit, and it's only going to continue to grow with the way that the forecast is. And we're seeing the ramifications of that with the extremely low water levels, particularly Lake Delta as well as Hinckley. Taking a look at the skycast for this evening, beautiful conditions tonight, warmer than it has been the previous nights. Lows only in the low 50s for Utica and Rome. Partly to mostly cloudy tomorrow. A couple of very isolated rogue sprinkles, but again, they're few and far between. Most of us just see dry weather. Sunnier skies, clearer skies work in for the overnight. And as we head into Sunday morning, we begin the day with sunny skies. We warm up steadily into the upper 70s. A couple of sprinkles, but again, I really think most of us continue to see nothing but dry weather through the duration of the weekend. Tonight, lows in the low 50s for Utica and Rome with clear skies. Going to be a little bit cooler in the rural areas north and south of the valley. They'll get down into the mid 40s. Taking a look at your 7-day forecast, and yes, unfortunately, we have no drought-busting rainfall forecasted. We continue to forecast extremely dry weather. Next week is looking absolutely beautiful, a beautiful, dry, sunny stretch of weather, but unfortunately no drought-busting rainfall.
Meteorologist James DeFazio.
We're tracking beautiful conditions this evening. Another fantastic night for Friday night football. Sunny skies to begin kickoff, low 70s. Going to cool off into the 60s during the games, but a great night to get out and do anything outside. It's very comfortable. Mostly sunny skies and dry weather continues overnight tonight and into the beginning of our weekend. Temperatures across the area in the upper 60s to mid 70s. There's an error with the Little Falls station right now. It's not 58 in Little Falls, low 70s there as well. Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar, quiet and dry. Unfortunately, that is going to be the case for the majority of the weekend. It is still 75 degrees with sunny skies up in Rome. Dew point all the way down at 51 degrees, making for comfortable levels of humidity and very comfortable air quality out there. Temperatures are going to be in the low to mid 70s tonight, mostly sunny skies. Overnight tonight, not as chilly. Lows are going to be the low 50s despite the clear skies. Coming up, we're going to take a look at what few rain chances we do have, as well as how bad this drought has gotten. Jason, Kristen.
All right, James, thank you. Here's some pictures now.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist James DeFazio.
Good Friday evening. It's a fantastic start to our weekend, a beautiful day today. And we're going to see primarily dry, pleasant weather this weekend. A couple of shower chances, but unfortunately they are few and far between. Take a look at how nice it is in downtown Utica right now. Not even a cloud in sight, bright blue skies, widespread sunshine, temperatures in the low to mid 70s, and conditions this evening continue to be incredibly pleasant. Saturday, highs are going to be in the mid 70s, right around 75 degrees. It's a dry start to the day. Clouds do increase during the late morning, mid-afternoon, and a sprinkle is possible during the mid-afternoon and early evening. On Sunday, again, primarily dry and sunnier, highs around 76 degrees. Plenty of sunshine, but within embedded, there will be a couple of isolated sprinkles, but again, most of us just see sunny, dry weather, and unfortunately, we're not seeing any drought-busting rainfall in the forecast. It's a beautiful start to our weekend, and yet again, there is little to no rain in the upcoming forecast, and we are warming up next week. We get a little bit of our second summer, and it looks to stay that way through September. Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. Quiet, dry, and it's really going to stay this way for almost the entirety of the next 7 days. Aside from a few measly showers this weekend, we're really not going to see much rainfall anytime soon. Around the state, visibility right now, perfectly fine, but early this morning, if you were up quite early, there was quite a bit of fog this morning, and I anticipate fog to develop before daybreak yet again tomorrow morning. I think we'll be in a very similar situation in the atmosphere. Temperature trend, again, we're steadily warming. Warmer temperatures throughout the weekend, mid to upper 70s. As we head into the middle portions of next week, yes, 80 degrees making its return. We're going to see highs all the way up into the low 80s. And the 8 to 14-day temperature outlook for the week of September 20th through September 27th from the Climate Prediction Center continues to favor above average temperatures for almost the entirety of the lower 48. A lot of orange on this map, and we expect this to continue through the end of September. It looks to be a very warm finish to our month. Around the state, the drought monitor not doing a great job at reflecting the severity of our drought. The yellow is only indicating that we are abnormally dry. Realistically, we're in moderate drought status across all of Oneida County, all of Herkimer County, almost all of central New York, I can say. And that's because we've done the math. We can look at how much rain we should have gotten since July, which we averaged to this date 9.2 inches of rain. We've only gotten 4 3/4 inches. We're over 4 1/4 inches shy of where we should be. And once you crack 3 inches, you really start to experience severe drought conditions. Pleasant conditions continue this evening. It's not nearly as chilly of a night as we've seen over the previous few. Some of the outlying areas make it a little cooler tonight. Primarily that would be across the North Country. Utica and the southern tier looking at low 50s for lows. Tomorrow, partly to mostly cloudy. Clouds thicken up by the afternoon. A couple of stray sprinkles, but again, most of us see dry weather. It does start out sunny on Sunday, and we see plenty of sunshine. A couple of sprinkles, you see those blips show up on the SkyCast, but again, few and far between, and most of us stay completely dry. Tonight, lows in the low 50s for Utica and Rome with clear skies. Your 7-day forecast. After these measly shower chances this weekend, which may not result in much rainfall at all, we end up with a beautiful stretch of weather next week. No drought-busting rainfall anywhere in sight. Highs climbing back up into the 80s. We're not saying goodbye to summer just yet. A beautiful stretch of weather, mostly sunny for several days, and very, very nice.
I know we need the rain.
Yeah.
I know it.
We're not complaining.
But that is such a nice stretch of weather that we know is going to change so dramatically in the weeks and months ahead. Let's try to enjoy this.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you, James. Still to come on News Channel 2 at 6. It's Friday night. Meteorologist James DeFazio getting us set for the weekend.
Yes.
And while we're excited because most of the weekend could be dry, I know we're going to get a little rain, we're still concerned. This is a crazy number right here.
It really is impressive. I mean, all the way back to July 1st, we are over 4 1/4 inches below what we average since July 1st. We are at quite a deficit. We have reached moderate drought stages, and we're seeing the repercussions of that. We've seen the pictures from Lake Delta. We've seen the levels of water at Hinckley, and it's just unfortunate right now. We do need the rainfall, and unfortunately, I don't have the forecast to provide it right now. More dry weather is expected tonight. Temperatures are much more mild, low to upper 50s across the region. 50s are going to be primarily in place for the entirety of the overnight. It's 57 degrees with clear skies up in Rome, and we're going to continue to see clear skies through the overnight tonight. Fortunately, temperatures don't drop off like they have been these past few nights. Could see a couple areas of patchy fog by tomorrow morning. Break that down as well coming up. Dry weather on your Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. Unfortunately, this is going to look like this for the majority of the upcoming weekend and upcoming week. Coming up, we're going to break down what few chances we do have for rainfall. Jason?
James, thank you. How about some good news here?
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist James DeFazio.
Good Friday evening. As you can see off the CAPV Tower Cam, as well as taking off a look off the Nexus Cam, it is very clear outside. It's very clear conditions. calm weather, comfortable temperatures, not overly cold, quite mild. It was a great night for Friday Night Lights. I hope you were able to get out and enjoy some of the weather today. It was a beautiful day. This weekend we are tracking a couple of disturbances, but they're extremely minor, and these rain chances are measly at best. It's a dry start to the day tomorrow. Clouds increase throughout the morning, and then a chance for an isolated shower is possible during the mid-afternoon. On Sunday, plenty of sunshine, but again, a couple of sprinkles possible during the mid-afternoon. Most of us don't see any rain at all this weekend, but it's not enough for us to be able to say it's going to be completely dry. Patchy fog is going to develop yet again overnight tonight, and we'll see some reduced visibilities by morning. There is little to no rain in the forecast. I have no drought-busting positive information with regards to that, unfortunately, at this time. And we are warming up yet again next week. We're not saying goodbye to warm temperatures just yet. Dry weather on your Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar, that continues. We're not seeing any visibility issues at this time across the state, but that's expected. I do anticipate fog to develop overnight tonight. By tomorrow morning, we will see some areas of reduced visibilities. Yes, we are continuing to track a warming trend. It's going to be warm this weekend, highs in the mid-70s this weekend. As we head into next week, we climb up through the 70s, and yes, back to the 80s. 80-degree weather for Tuesday and Wednesday, and it looks like we're going to see a little bit more of that before the end of September. The 8 to 14-day temperature outlook for the week of September 20th through September 27th continues to favor above-average temperatures for the entire of the lower 48. And I expect above-average temperatures to be around in central New York through the end of September. Clear skies tonight, not nearly as cold. Lows in the low 50s for Utica and Rome. A little bit colder across the North Country. Low 40s for lows. Clouds increase throughout the morning tomorrow, and you can see that we have these very scattered, very light showers, few and far between, but they are out there a little bit before drier air settles in for the overnight. Clear skies to begin the day on Monday. Take a look at these couple of blips. Again, very, very measly chances for rain. A couple of sprinkles possible in between the sunshine. Otherwise, dry weather. Tonight, lows in the low 50s with clear skies. A look at your 7-day forecast. After these measly poor shower chances this weekend, we begin another dry, sunny stretch of weather with very comfortable temperatures for this time of year. A stretch of 80-degree weather next week, mostly sunny Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Hope you didn't put away the air conditioner just yet. Maybe left the pool open. I do also expect as we head into next week.
I mean, if you have a pool heater, yeah.
Yes.
Otherwise, it's a little chilly.
I do also think that as we head into next week, that warm weather continues.
Wow. 80s.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you, sir. Coming up next, forecast with meteorologist James DeFazio as we get set for the weekend.
More of the same.
We need some more rain, but nice weather.
We're going to have a beautiful stretch this upcoming week. We're actually going to have a pleasant weekend as well. But these numbers don't lie. We are in a moderate drought. We're now over 4 1/4 inches shy of where we should be for rainfall since July 1st. And that's led to moderate drought conditions for all of central New York. We're seeing very low levels in the waterways, Delta Lake, incredibly low, Hinckley, very low. Unfortunately, we're not seeing any drought-busting changes coming anytime within the next week or so. Temperatures tonight, low to mid-50s, not as chilly as it's been some of the previous nights, a mild night. 55 degrees with clear skies in Rome, and clear skies and calm winds will continue. Dew points up over 50. We are keeping a very close eye on that for the chance for fog. Your Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar, quiet and dry, and unfortunately it's going to look like that for much of the upcoming week. We are going to break down what few chances we do have for rainfall coming right up in full weather. Jason?
James, thank you. Continuing covers now, Wolves.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist James DeFazio.
Good Friday evening. Clear skies tonight, and that allows for temperatures and pleasant conditions to drop, but not as chilly as we've seen over some of the previous nights. Lows tonight Not going to see any frost chances. We will see some patchy fog develop before daybreak tomorrow. There is little to no rain in the forecast. A couple of chances for showers this weekend, and then another very long stretch of dry, sunny weather, and we continually warm up throughout next week. Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar, quiet, dry, going to stay that way for several days. Around the state, currently no visibility issues, but fog will develop overnight tonight. We will see some areas of reduced visibility by Saturday morning. Taking a look at your skycast for tonight, which is really going to give you the picture for when we can expect the chances for rainfall tonight. Clear skies and dry conditions, lows in the low 50s for Utica and Rome. Some of the North Country is going to get down into the low to mid 40s, cooler across the North Country. Showers work in tomorrow. Clouds increase throughout the morning. These showers are very few and far between. Borderline sprinkles during the day on Saturday. Drier weather works in for the evening, and drier weather continues into the beginning of the day on Sunday. Sunday, also going to be almost an entirely dry day. A couple of sprinkles during the day in between sunshine, but all in all, it's almost an entirely dry weekend. Dry conditions settle in for Sunday evening with very comfortable temperatures. Taking a look at your 7-day forecast, outside of these few measly chances for rainfall that we have this weekend, we have a beautiful stretch and a couple of days where we may crack low to mid 80s with mostly sunny skies next week. No drought busting rainfall in sight.
All righty, James, thank you. Up next, it's Sports Express.